Hey everybody, Hunter back again from Showtime Studios. Going to do another tutorial here. This one actually goes out to Tim Brown. He had asked me about doing a tutorial on how to install your clear parts into your models. So what I'm going to be doing is working with a front cab assembly, the front wall to a, what is this? I think it's a Western Star. Yeah, that's what it is. Western Star cab. And this would all be assembled before the glass got put in, the cab sides, the back. The good thing about these kits is they allow the roof to go in separately, and also the floor pan can go in separately, so it gives you a little bit of room to get your fingers up into the cab to get the glass installed and put a little bit of pressure on it. We're going to do the tutorial just with the front part, just to give you an idea of how I go about putting glass in and what I use to do it. So we have the front cab wall, we have the one-piece front windshield, and we're going to be using a toothpick and a couple cotton swabs and some micro crystal clear, which is the only glue that I use to put in glass. So the first step that I do, I haven't prepped this glass or done anything to it. Normally I will go in and actually wet sand the glass to make sure there's no ups and downs in it and major flaws or anything like that, and actually thin it out a little bit also. But in this case, I'm just going to show you how I go about installing it. In this particular piece, there is a little bit of a recess in here that the glass will sit down into, which makes it real nice. Now, some models don't have that, but the procedure is basically the same. But this one here does have the lip that it sits into. So what we want to do first is take your toothpick and your micro crystal clear. And as you can see, I'm not using super glue for this. I'm not using tube glue or any type of real strong regular model adhesive. I only use crystal clear to do this. So I'll dip the toothpick in, and what I tend to do is come into this little recess that's in here, and you don't have to worry about getting this in an exact location. You can if you want to, but it's not really necessary. This glue cleans up very well, but what you want to do is you want to run a bead of this glue all the way around that recess, and also here on the center support in the windshield, you want to get that totally glued. And as you see, I'm putting a fair amount on here. I'll hold it up closer to the camera once we get it filled up in this recess, just to show you kind of what it looks like. And if you've got your interior painted, which most likely that's what you're going to have, is all your interior parts will already be painted. Be a little bit more careful with your placement of your glue, because as you try to wipe the excess glue back off, if you've used acrylics without a sealer for your interior color, like I do a lot of times, you can wipe those colors off. If you put like a lacquer dull coat over top of it, you shouldn't have a problem. But that's just kind of a little tip there as you're going along. Be very aware of what colors and what type of paint you have around this, so that you don't affect your finished product wiping off the excess glue. Because even if you're careful with doing this, if you putting the glue down, if you're going to use my technique on it, you're still going to have glue squeeze out, and there's a reason for that. And I'll show you that here in just a second. Okay, we've got glue all the way around the perimeter of that, and you can see the white adhesive that goes all the way around. So the next thing that we're going to do is take the glass and just set the glass into place. And this is where a lot of people would actually freak out and go, "Oh no, there's glue everywhere," and but you're not worried about that with this type of adhesive. It cleans up very well, and the good thing about it is it's called crystal clear, because when it dries, it is actually crystal clear. But that doesn't mean you can leave a bunch of excess of it all over the part either. So what we do is we just press the glass into place, and I'll hold it up here, and you can see where the glue has squeezed out around the edges of the hood, or the edges of the windshield there, and same thing on the inside. So the next step that you want to do is just take a Q-tip, and like I say, with the cab already assembled, you're going to have to try to get your fingers up inside of the cab to hold this windshield into place. And so it would basically be something like that there. And you just want to come around with the Q-tip and just wipe all the way around your glass. And as you can see, that you're going to end up with a little bit of smudging in this, and so don't worry about it too much. This stuff cleans up very well. So all you're doing now is just trying to come in and get the excess off of the external parts. And I'm just using the same Q-tip for now. I'm just wiping it here on the cloth to get the excess off of it. And smooth it around like that. And the same thing on the inside. This is where I was talking about, be careful with the paint that you use, because you want to come around and wipe off all of the excess that's squeezed out on the inside. And same procedure that we done on the outside. You just want to come around and just kind of spin the Q-tip as you go along, and it picks up the adhesive, the extra adhesive, and you just wipe it off on your towel. So that's where we're at right now with that part. And I'll hold it up and show you what it looks like. As you can see, there is some adhesive on the glass. You can see it kind of fogged around there a little bit. The good thing about crystal clear is it does not affect that, the glass in any way. Let's see if I can get yeah, there you go. You can see the residue that's around the edges. No big deal. Now, why I use that much glue on the part is because when I press that part into place, a lot of times there is a little bit of gaps that show up around the glass. And what that'll do is when you push that glass in there with that much adhesive, it actually squeezes out and fills those voids in. So when everything dries and it's all set into place, you're ready to go. You don't have any gaps or anything like that around the glass. It kind of looks like the glass is just formed through all of the parts. Now, the one thing you want to do is just kind of leave all this residue that you have left on here. Don't try to get all that off right off the bat. You want to make sure that your glue has enough time to set and grab onto the frame of the windshield, and just make sure it's all in place real good before you start coming in and trying to take the rest of this excess off. Now, the one thing about this particular kit is this center post. I actually, before I started the video, I should have pushed that back a little bit and had it formed. It's curved a little bit more than the windshield is. So in that case there, to keep from having a gap, what you want to do is just take a little bit of a little strip of Tamiya tape, and just stick that down and then press that center support down against your glass, and then put the tape down and just leave that set. And that's what I say. The good thing about the crystal clear is, even though it sits, you can get it back off without any damage whatsoever. So and a lot of people will come in and use tape to hold all this in. You can do that. I don't really like using a lot of tape, especially on the inside, because a lot of times when you go to pull the tape off, this glue, it holds well, but it's still flexible, and you tend to kind of break the bond a little bit when you pull the tape off. So I don't recommend using a lot of tape. But here on this center support, that's just got that tape down. And at this point now, you've got a little bit of residue around the edges of the glass. No big deal. Same thing around the inside. So what we'll do is, at this point, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to set this over to the side, and probably for about, I don't know, 15 minutes, something like that, 20 minutes, and let the glue kind of harden up and get it to set. And then I'll come back on the second part of the video. I'll show you what it looks like at that point once it's dry, and we'll go through the cleanup procedure and show you the finished product. So any questions or concerns, just leave me a comment on the video, and stay tuned for part 2 coming up here real soon. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.